You are standing near the corner flag in Saint Petersburg. Antoine Griezmann swings the ball toward the near post. Samuel Umtiti moves first, rises above Marouane Fellaini, and heads it into the net. In 1 second, the greatest Belgian team you have ever seen is no longer chasing a World Cup final. It is chasing a game that France has already begun to close. How does a team with Thibaut Courtois, Vincent Kompany, Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, and Romelu Lukaku finish its era without a trophy? The easy answer is failure. The real answer is timing. Belgium's golden generation did not lose because it lacked talent, courage, or unforgettable football. It lost because international tournaments demand that every part of a team reaches its peak during the same few weeks, and Belgium's pieces were almost never perfectly synchronized. To understand that, you have to go back to a time when Belgian football was not golden at all. Where did this golden team really begin? At UEFA Euro 2000, Belgium hosted part of the tournament and still went out in the group stage. Then the country disappeared from one major tournament after another. You watched Euro 2004 without Belgium. You watched the 2006 World Cup without Belgium. The same thing happened in 2008, 2010, and 2012. How does a traditional European football nation vanish for an entire decade? Part of the answer came from Michel Sablon, the technical director who helped redesign Belgian player development in the early 2000s. The old priority had been winning youth matches. The new priority was creating better individual players. Young teams were encouraged to use a 4-3-3 formation, which simply means 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers spread across the width of the pitch. Smaller games gave children more touches, more one-against-one situations, and more chances to make decisions with the ball. Why did those extra touches matter? The lesson was simple. Do not teach a child only how to survive a match. Teach the child how to control one. That philosophy did not manufacture every star in a laboratory. Where would the stars come from? Club academies still did the daily work. Anderlecht developed Vincent Kompany and Romelu Lukaku. Genk helped shape Kevin De Bruyne and Thibaut Courtois. Standard Liège produced Axel Witsel, while Eden Hazard crossed the border and became a phenomenon at Lille. But the national plan gave those different pathways a common direction. Could those separate pathways become one national team? Suddenly, Belgium was not producing one special player. It was producing an entire team at once. You had Courtois in goal, tall enough to shrink the target before the striker even shot. You had Kompany, Toby Alderweireld, and Jan Vertonghen defending. You had Witsel controlling the middle, De Bruyne seeing passes before anyone else, Hazard carrying the ball through pressure, and Lukaku turning open grass into a sprinting contest defenders could not win. What could possibly go wrong with that much ability? The first problem was that the label arrived before the team did. At the 2014 World Cup, Belgium returned to the tournament after a 12-year absence. The players were famous. Could reputation replace experience? The team was still learning. Mark Wilmots guided Belgium through 3 group victories, then into a wild round-of-16 match against the United States. Tim Howard made 16 saves, a World Cup record, before De Bruyne and Lukaku finally scored in extra time. Did that night feel like a beginning? 4 days later, Argentina made it feel unfinished. Gonzalo Higuain scored early in the quarterfinal, and Belgium lost 1-0. You could see the quality, but you could also see the distance between having brilliant players and having a brilliant tournament team. What separates a squad from a tournament team? A tournament team knows exactly how to change shape when the first plan fails. It knows which player controls panic. It knows how to turn possession into pressure rather than simply moving the ball around the edge of a defense. Belgium had arrived. But had it matured? So you looked toward Euro 2016 and imagined the moment was coming. The squad was older. Hazard was entering his prime. De Bruyne had become one of Europe's most creative midfielders, and Lukaku was becoming a dominant striker. Then Belgium destroyed Hungary 4-0 in the round of 16, with Hazard producing the kind of performance that makes a tournament suddenly feel destined. Was this finally the summer? The quarterfinal against Wales should have been the next step. Instead, it exposed the first great weakness of the generation. Belgium's attack was deep, flexible, and frightening. Its defensive depth was not. Captain Vincent Kompany and Nicolas Lomberts had already missed the tournament through injury. How much depth remained? Thomas Vermaelen was suspended for the Wales match, and Jan Vertonghen injured his ankle in training just before it. Belgium began with a rearranged backline. Raja Nainggolan still gave you the perfect start with a long-range goal. Then Wales attacked the uncertainty. Would the attack rescue the defense? Ashley Williams equalized. How Robson Kanu turned inside the penalty area and sent the defenders moving in the wrong direction. Sam Vokes finished the collapse. Could Belgium recover? Wales won 3-1. Was Belgium unlucky, tactically unprepared, or simply outplayed? The honest answer is all three. Injuries changed the defense. Mark Wilmots struggled to repair the shape during the match, and Wales played with the clarity Belgium lacked. What happens when clarity defeats celebrity? That defeat ended Wilmots' time and brought Roberto Martinez into the story. Martinez understood that this squad could not be treated like an ordinary national team. He built around a back three, meaning three central defenders protected the middle while wide players moved up and down the flanks. The structure allowed Hazard and De Bruyne to receive the ball closer to goal. It also made room for more attackers. But every tactical choice solves one problem by creating another, does it not? Belgium possessed elite central defenders, elite attacking midfielders, and an elite striker. It had fewer natural top-level fullbacks, the defenders who normally protect the wide areas and support attacks. So the system depended heavily on wingbacks, players asked to cover almost the entire side of the pitch. Thomas Meunier could do it on the right. On the left, Belgium often adapted attackers or central defenders to the role. Could the left side offer the same certainty? The team could overwhelm weaker opponents. Against the very best, one missing runner or one badly timed transition could open the entire side of the pitch. Still, Russia 2018 was the moment when everything almost aligned. Could the balance finally hold? Hazard was physically explosive. De Bruyne was at his creative peak. Lukaku scored 4 goals. Courtois gave Belgium the security to take risks. Was this finally the complete team? The FIFA archive records a perfect group stage. But the real story began when Japan led Belgium 2-0 in the round of 16. For 69 minutes, the golden generation was becoming another warning about wasted talent. Then Vertonghen scored. Fellaini equalized. In the final seconds, Courtois caught a Japanese corner and rolled the ball to De Bruyne. Can you still see the counterattack unfold? De Bruyne drives through the center. Meunier overlaps on the right. Lukaku runs toward the near post and deliberately allows the cross to pass. Nacer Chadli arrives behind him and scores. Had Belgium crossed from talent into belief? Then came Brazil. Roberto Martinez changed the attacking arrangement. Lukaku started from the right, Hazard attacked from the left, and De Bruyne moved through the center, leaving Brazil's defenders without one fixed striker to follow. Could Brazil identify the danger quickly enough? Fernandinho's own goal gave Belgium the lead. De Bruyne made it 2-0 with a low strike from outside the penalty area. Brazil attacked for most of the second half, but Courtois kept saving, and Belgium survived 2-1. Was this still hype? No. This was a team defeating the 5-time world champion with planning, sacrifice, and nerve. So why did the story stop 4 days later? France was younger in key areas, more balanced across the pitch, and comfortable without the ball. A low block is a defense positioned close to its own penalty area, reducing the space available behind it. France could defend that way because Kylian Mbappé gave Belgium a constant threat on the counterattack. Belgium had more of the ball, but France controlled where the dangerous spaces existed. Thomas Meunier, so important to the right side, was suspended. How would Belgium replace him? Then Griezmann took the corner. Umtiti scored in the 51st minute. France won 1-0 and went on to lift the World Cup. Belgium beat England 2-0 to finish third, the country's best World Cup result, and Hazard received the silver ball as the tournament's second-best player. Was that proof of success or evidence of the trophy that escaped? It was both. This is where the phrase golden generation becomes unfair. A medal becomes nothing because it is not gold. A historic victory over Brazil becomes a footnote because it happened in a quarterfinal. Years of elite consistency become a joke about empty trophy cabinets. Why does the phrase become so cruel? David Goldblatt's Histories of Football repeatedly place the sport inside national memory, where results become stories larger than the matches themselves. Belgium's story became a promise, and every tournament without a trophy made that promise feel broken. But football does not award trophies for the best list of names. It rewards the team that survives its worst 20 minutes. Which team survives those 20 minutes? By Euro 2020, Belgium was still ranked among the strongest teams in the world. It won all 3 group matches. It eliminated defending champion Portugal 1-0. Was this the last chance? Yet the perfect alignment had already begun to disappear. Axel Witsel had entered the tournament after a serious injury. De Bruyne and Eden Hazard were both hurt against Portugal. Hazard missed the quarterfinal, and De Bruyne faced Italy without being fully fit. Could the Stars still carry the load? Italy won 2-1. Once again, Belgium did not collapse against a weak opponent. It met the eventual champion while its most decisive attackers were physically compromised. Could a healthier Belgium have won? Possibly. But golden generations are judged by what happened, not by the medical report of what might have happened. Then Qatar arrived in 2022. What remained of the 2018 machine? By now, the names were familiar, but the bodies were different. Hazard was no longer the unstoppable dribbler you had watched in Russia. Kompany had retired. The defensive core had aged. Could experience hide the aging? Lukaku entered the tournament after injury, while De Bruyne publicly questioned whether the team was too old to win. Belgium beat Canada 1-0 but was outplayed for long periods. Morocco then won 2-0. Against Croatia, Belgium needed victory, and finally created the chances it had been missing. Would Croatia expose the ending? Lukaku entered after halftime. The ball kept finding him. Would one chance finally fall? One chance hit the post. Another struck him when a clean finish seemed possible. A late opportunity dropped near the goal line and still would not go in. The match ended 0-0. Was that really how it would end? Belgium went home from the group stage, and Martinez resigned after the final whistle. The generation had not ended with a dramatic final. It ended with the ball sitting inches from the goal and refusing to cross the line. What image could explain the whole era better than that? Belgium was never far away. It was one damaged defense from surviving Wales, one corner from reaching the 2018 final, one healthier pair of playmakers from testing Italy at full strength. How many margins can one generation lose? One finish from escaping the group in Qatar. But being close in 4 different tournaments does not combine into one trophy. International football does not save progress between summers. What does a nation carry from one tournament to the next? You start again every time. The counterintuitive truth is that Belgium's golden generation did not prove the development system failed. It proved the system worked. A country that had missed 5 consecutive major tournaments, created a side that reached the quarterfinals or better at 4 consecutive major tournaments from 2014 through Euro 2020, climbed to the top of the FIFA ranking, defeated Brazil, and produced its best World Cup finish. Does that sound like a failed system? The failure came later, in the impossible expectation that player production must automatically create a champion. Jonathan Wilson's tactical histories show the same lesson across generations. Great players need a structure suited to them. Can structure alone guarantee a trophy? That structure needs healthy bodies. And even then, a set piece, a suspension, or a single mistimed movement can erase 4 years of preparation. What should you remember when you see another nation described as a golden generation? Do not look only at the names. Look at the balance. Look at the age curve, the fullbacks, the substitutes, the injuries, and the manager's ability to change a match after the original plan stops working. Most of all, look at the timing. Did Belgium ever find it? Belgium had enough talent to win. It even had one summer when the tactics, confidence, and star players came close to meeting at the same point. But in Saint Petersburg, one French defender moved half a step earlier. How small can the difference be? You are standing near the corner flag again. The ball is already in the air. And now you understand that Belgium's golden generation did not lose an entire era in that moment. It lost the only moment when the entire era had finally arrived together.